Welcome into AMAI. We're not going to look at something on this particular episode. This is going to be a little bit different. I was thinking a lot this weekend about something, and I wanted to say it out loud to Chris and to this audience. Um, and that is that I think I might cancel my ChatGPT subscription today, and I might spend my money on Gemini because
Um,
I think it's better. Everything that I've seen suggests that the results, the quality, the speed it's a better product. And so I think I might cancel my subscription and move it over today.
um, Fascinating. So here's what I would say. I have seen quite a few analysis and comparisons, and I think that for a random question asks, I still think ChatGPT is probably better. However, for the quasi rag, for the ones where you're loading in a lot of data,
Mhm.
you can't beat the million token context.
Well, for sure. For sure.
And so I, on the one hand, it surprises me. On the other hand, I would be excited to do that, and especially since we have some ideas for testing on Gemini.
Hmm.
I think that sounds like fun,
Yeah.
and I will not be canceling my ChatGPT 4 subscription.
Well, good, because what that means is I'll cancel mine. I'll move over to Gemini and let's do some head-to-head testing against them this
Yeah,
week on the show. And let's see if this turns out to be a good decision or not. I mean, it doesn't matter. I can always cancel and go back. It's $20 a
yeah,
month. Who the fuck
yeah.
cares, right?
Well, so
Yeah.
timeout. Like this is a fun side note. Why the hell do you have your own subscription if you work in a tech company?
Yeah.
And why isn't the company paying
I
for you?
shouldn't. I actually have two subscriptions. I already have a subscription through work and I have my personal subscription. Well, and part of that actually is for real, actually, because I use AI so much in my personal life that I don't actually want the streams crossed. So it's important to me to have those separated.
Perfectly fine,
Yeah.
perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
I do not abuse like I really don't put too many expenses through in the company account.
Right.
ChatGPT is one of them.
Yeah, because it is a critical part of my daily work.
Yeah, yeah.
100%. Yeah,
So
absolutely. So we'll see. This will be the great journey. I might even do this today, and we'll report back, and we'll see what happens. But I think what's interesting is like we are, I believe now, finally a year in, almost exactly a year in since 4 launched. We are at the point where I think shopping around between competitive models now is a thing and will be a thing. For the past year, OpenAI was the only game in town, especially when it came to things that you would pay for with 4. But I think in the past couple of months, we've gotten to the point where the marketplace is starting to see a little bit more parity, not really parity, but more competitiveness. And we'll see more and more people kind of switching around between these different providers. Going to introduce a lot of interesting competitive pressure, which I think is good because it's going to make the entire thing move faster.
yeah, the only thing I would say is we know that ChatGPT 5 is rumored for this summer, and my guess is ChatGPT 5 will have an increased context window,
Mhm.
right, to keep up with Gemini, but it probably also includes Sora.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and I haven't seen Google do anything on that front nearly as well.
Yep.
But that all depends on what you're trying to get out of it. And
Right. Right. Right.
um, so this should be
By the
fun.
way, by the way, speaking of token or context windows, real quick, I was watching a little snippet of a keynote or like a demo day type of thing from the NVIDIA CEO over the weekend on LinkedIn, and he was showing off these big new uh, wafers, right, chips for some of the AI processing, and they were talking about billion parameter context models or context windows or billion length context models. That's what these chips could support. Or maybe that wasn't the context. Actually, I think it was billion parameter or trillion parameter model.
Regardless, like,
Which
guys,
is
like,
insanity.
when you can just, oh,
Yeah. So I mean, that's how fast this stuff is moving. He made a comment. And I got to look into this more because I don't actually know a lot of the details yet. But he made a comment during that like they actually didn't think that this chip could be built because they thought that it would the laws of physics wouldn't allow it to be built, and they got it built, and game changer in
yeah,
terms of that.
guys, chips and AI, the future is fascinating and scary.
I would, if you're looking to invest, I would look at hardware. This is the time to invest in hardware.
Yeah, well, D time
As a retail investor
was about 3 years ago, but that's
yes. Well, the time was about 30 years ago, but the second best time to plant a tree is today.
Amen.
We'll see you guys.
Have a good one.